Today we're getting an early look at the Wall of Arrows event, the brand new event that's designed to teach you the formation system. This is available in Kingdom 2 early. It's a sneak peek. So stick around in this video so that you know exactly how it'll work when it gets to your kingdom. Hello my friends and welcome back. I'm Chisgule Gaming and I like to get an early look at events before they arrive in every kingdom in Rise of Kingdoms. So if you haven't already subscribed, consider smashing that subscribe button with the bell notifications turned on so that you don't miss the latest and greatest news as soon as it lands. Now this is the Wall of Arrows event. It's a series of 6 different challenges designed to teach you the formation system. And although we don't actually have the formation system in Kingdom 2 yet, we do have this event, which is designed, I suppose, to get us acclimated to the way that it will work. Now, if we get a look at the rules, this explains exactly how it will go. There's a little bit of background talking about how there's barbarians and they're trying to raid storehouses, blah, blah, blah. This event uses the following trial commanders. There are a series of commanders you gain access to. I actually have done the whole thing and I don't remember getting El Cid. Maybe he's here and maybe I just missed it. How to play. This is what we're really looking for. There are 6 passes in the event, and there will be 3 objectives in each trial pass. Eliminate all the enemies, all commanders must survive, and you must protect all storehouses. Each objective completed will earn you a star, and you unlock additional rewards based on the number of stars that you earn. Enemies will attack the storehouse from many different directions. Choosing the right commanders on the map to deal with each type of enemy will be essential. In this event, the system will provide trial commanders who are proficient with the V formation. Troops using the V formation can build ranged fortifications and will switch to range mode, long-range attacks. Kingdoms will unlock the formation system after the start of Season 2. Now, that said, they're still rolling it out to all the kingdoms that are outside of Season 2, so a small number of Season 2 kingdoms already have this, but my main account, and even my restart account, don't at the time of this recording. The V formation will be unlocked once a kingdom enters the Season of Conquest. In this event map, both our and our enemies' troops can block each other's movements. Clever use of this mechanic can help you turn the tide of battle. Participation restrictions. You can't start a new challenge in the last 10 minutes of this event, so don't wait till the last second. So there are, as I showed at the start, a series of challenges here, 6 of them. They call them passes, but this is just challenges. And the rewards are as follows. The lowest tier is a small number of gold keys and training speed-ups. For 8 stars total, you've got 2 gold keys and a small number of training speed-ups. There are more crystal keys at the 12-star tier, and you get 2 gold heads if you get all the way to 16 stars. Now, we can see a trial commander preview. This shows you that the commanders are in the different formations. I've showed this formation system in detail in other videos. I'll have a card up in the top and remind you of this at the end, but there aren't actually any armaments that we're supposed to equip here. It's just showing you, hey, these commanders are in these formations. This is the wedge formation, I believe. That is a skill damage formation. And from here, we've got Guan Yu also in the skill damage formation. Here is the echelon formation. Actually, it's hollow square. Just kidding. Hollow square reduces damage taken by 2%. And last but not least, here's the V formation. This is the one that does ranged attacks. And this is Wafura, who, by the way, is a commander that is available in the power-up version of Heroic Anthem. I'll have a card up in the top for that video as well. If you haven't seen the engineering commanders and talent trees, which, by the way, I think will be coming more broadly to Rise of Kingdoms later down the road. Now, what these commanders do isn't really all that important. Just keep in mind that Richard I is tanky, Guan Yu is here for damage, and technically Double C is here for damage, but he's kind of just okay at that. And they do have some equipment on these commanders that, ooh, legendary equipment on Guan Yu, full set. I mean, he's really here to do damage, let's be real. Now, we can get a look at these challenges, and they are very simple. The first 3 I found to be extremely straightforward. They will be, and spoiler alert, if you don't want to know what the maps look like, now's the time to check out the cards and check out one of those other videos instead. But here's the first sort of map layout that they give you. You can see they put a shield around Guan Yu to kind of symbol that he's the tank here. And I've got Wafura that I can move around, and I can drop Wafura in tower mode. Now, tower mode takes a couple seconds to load up. I think that it actually takes longer when you're using tower mode. And boom, here we go. Charles Martel is on the map. Now, it's pathing me through the enemy over here. That's a little bit weird because enemies do block each other, as well as your troops block enemy troops. So this is a little weird that they put them all the way there over there. The pathing's a little weird. But normally when you build a tower, by the way, like I was saying earlier, it takes like 10 seconds to build and I think 5 seconds to disembark. I will note here that Charles Martel is very tanky. He's not really doing much damage at all, whereas Guan Yu does a lot of damage. And in this game mode, Wafura is really here to do all the damage. I'm going to bring my tank over here. I'm going to block them from going to this storehouse. This is the village storehouse, as you can see. Your goal here is mostly to block the enemies and then take them out slowly. Hopefully I stop this guy. I didn't stop this one from getting to the storehouse. Kind of sucks. I'm not automatically attacking him. I didn't actually physically block him here. So that's a bit of a bummer. And you can see that this unit is marked with a shield. He is extra tanky, and you can see that really playing out. Theoretically, I should have moved more of my units over. I've got Wafura really cranking down on that one guy, and what I should have done is have my tanks over here specifically to block the path of these guys. Now I can disembark with the tower. Oh, it turns out he was in range. GG on Chisgule. I'm going to move over here. I can't tell if Charles Martel is attacking. Get in on the action, buddy. Good thing I have already beaten this with 3 stars. Boom. We'll swing on this guy. There's another guy here. So keep in mind, your tanky units are not going to automatically select the next unit for some reason, unless you're actually physically blocking them. Somehow I saved the storehouse, and somehow I 3-starred that, even though I really didn't deserve it. So, pretty simple idea here. You really just need to physically block the enemies. The thing I find a little confusing about this is none of the formations actually block enemy movement as of yet. So maybe they will change that, but as of now, the formation system isn't going to do that. I think the thing they're really trying to teach you is ranged combat. So I'll take you all the way to the last challenge, which is a different layout and is much, much harder, actually. One of these storehouses is completely exposed. So I found that I needed to run a couple units out in front to be able to address that. And Wafura also, I need to have kind of in a really great position to do some damage. I'm going to run Wafura around. This might be a bit of a mistake. And I kind of feel like I should have kept my Guan Yu over here. Now, this is important to show you. Wafura gets absolutely clapped. So I actually need to restart the challenge. If the enemy hits your Wafura, it's game over. So you basically need to keep your Wafura behind the lines or you lose the challenge. And they are trying to teach you to shoot over obstacles, which in general Rise of Kingdoms fighting, the only really obstacle you've got here, I think, is if you're going to be battling over a river, then I think you've got a pretty clean argument for needing that. So I'm going to put Wafura in tower mode here, and we'll try having Guan Yu over here. I actually, in hindsight, again, feel like I should have configured maybe a little bit differently. And the thing that I think you need to do, we're doing this a little bit stream of consciousness here, but I think you need to split your Guan Yu, who's really just damage. We pretend like he's not, but he is. I think you need to split your Guan Yu and split your Wafura, because your Wafura brings damage. Your double C, as you can see here, it just gets absolutely clapped by basically everything. So double C is not really here for the purpose of tanking. He's just here to move fast. So I think if we try this one more time, I think what we need to do to beat this is we need to swing the Guan Yu up to the right. The double C will stay over here. The Wafura has to be behind the lines. The Guan Yu goes over here, and the Richard goes out front. Hopefully I get there fast enough to actually execute this. We're going to swing down a little bit more, maybe, go into tower mode. And the double C is really just here to protect the Wafura. The tank, this feels like the way you do this. Okay, this feels like maybe the way you do this. So now, Richard the First has got to be my most tanky unit. Wafura shoots at these guys. Richard tanks. Guan Yu is actually able to do enough damage himself. And this might actually be the correct configuration. We might have cracked the code. Not entirely sure. I've got my double C back a little bit because I really want to reduce the damage I take. There are theoretically different bosses here. This guy's got a little star. That could go poorly for me. This guy's also got a little star. This isn't actually related, I think, to the number of stars you get in the event. So I think they're just showing it is an elite mob that's coming in. If I extend the menu off to the left, it's giving me my 3 objectives here. But again, the star is kind of an unrelated indicator. We're now taking this guy out. My double C is getting beat down pretty good. I don't think I could actually run my troops around fast enough. The amount of micro it would take to do that seems really difficult to me. So I feel like just leaving my double C where he is and leaving my Richard where he is might be the play. Although I've got some problems here. I really need my Wafura to shoot here. He's not shooting here. My Richard may die. So maybe I needed Guan Yu over here. You can see, like, this challenge is a little weird. Here comes, I gotta bring Guan Yu, and I gotta bring double C. All my heroes have to live, so I probably need to run my Richard away in this instance. Okay, Richard runs away, and my double C goes in, I guess. My Richard, can he even get away? He did get away. Double C is tanking. Not ideal, but this might work. We might have done it, chat. We might have got there. That's how I think you 3-star this. Final wave, I think we get it. So split the Guan Yu, bring the Wafura over here. And, I mean, I think the idea is they're trying to teach you to move your troops around, but it kind of taught me to keep my troops still. Maybe I'm missing something, man. Oh, my Richard the First got killed by an arrow. I think. GG. We would have had it, man, if I just ran my Richard away further. Well, I think you saw how you could hypothetically have 3-starred it. And maybe if you got more micro than I am willing to do, you could do better. All commanders survive. We almost had that. I just needed to run Richard all the way away. But I feel fine about that. I feel fine. I'm not going to be triggered with OCD that I didn't get the 3rd star, because at the end of the day, you don't need to 3-star everything here. In fact, you could 2-star the last 2 challenges and be fine. You could 1-star the last challenge and 3-star everything else, and you get all your rewards here, and that's the wall of arrows. Now, this is interesting, but I kind of feel like the thing you really need to learn is a little bit different than what we're doing here. The thing I would want to teach people about the formation system, I think, is really the armaments is a little bit tricky. So it is definitely helpful to just see, like, hey, here's different formations, and I think they've really emphasized in this game mode that, you know, certain formations are hypothetically more tanky or do more damage than others. But the reality, I think, when you run around with a V formation commander, when you're battling in the open field, is that it's going to be, I mean, it's fine. It doesn't melt like Wafura melted. Oh my God. What did Wafura freaking melt in this game mode? So yes, you need to be careful with your formations, but maybe not as careful as they're showing here. So the thing I think you need to learn is, how do the armaments work? Which formations maybe are the best? I have a video really dedicated to that for you. Card will be in the end screen right over here. Also, if you want to see more information about Wafura and Torgny, I think is the other engineering commander, and the engineering talent trees, I'll have a card in the end screen. I'd encourage you to check that out. And until next time, you have fun smashing the kingdom.